What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated 3-division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who has 27 wins, no losses, no draw, 25 big wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 5'5", with a 67-inch arm reach. Gervonta Tank Davis, he confirms and clarifies that the big fight that many people want to see between himself and undefeated, rising, lightweight, junior welterweight, Mexican superstar title contender, King Ryan Garcia, who is now 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 23 years of age, 5'10", with a 70-inch arm reach. Gervonta Tank Davis, he takes to social media. If you didn't know, Ryan Garcia, he was saying that he's going to put pressure on Gervonta Tank Davis in the form of what Muhammad Ali did to get the fight with Sonny Liston. You had Gervonta Tank Davis's promoter, retired legendary, iconic Hall of Fame, 5-division world champion, retired undefeated, the man known as Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. He came out, he did an interview in which he stated that, the fight has to take place at 135, and has some sacrifices has to be made on the part of Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, his last 2 fights was at junior welterweight at 140. He said that Gervonta Tank Davis going to have to come up to 140. Then yesterday, Ryan Garcia, he confirmed that he's willing to go down to 135. You had his promoter, retired Olympic gold medalist, 5-division world champion, Mexican superstar, Hall of Fame boxer, turned founder and promoter of Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar the Golden Boy De La Hoya, saying that he believes that the fight can happen, but he has to sit down with Floyd Mayweather. Al Heyman, PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor, is going to try to block the fight. The fight needs to take place at 140. Everything needs to be 50-50, split down the middle. We know Ryan Garcia, he fights on DAZN. Gervonta Tank Davis fights on Showtime. Showtime president of sports, Stephen Espinosa. Stephen Espinosa chimed in. So there's a lot of going back and forth. To which Gervonta Tank Davis now responds. And he says that he hasn't been going back and forth with Ryan Garcia via social media. Quote, this is what he had to say. I haven't been going back and forth with Ryan because we all know he's not a man of his word, but I do know it's a possibility of the fight happening. So I'd rather stay quiet till the deal is locked in. Nothing mean anything right now. Then he goes on to say, yeah, this fight can definitely happen at the very least. It's already locked in if people do what's right. And another thing, tell Ryan Garcia stop talking about it. Right, so that's what Gervonta Tank Davis, he pretty much confirms that the fight is done. They have to just, dot some T's, cross some T's and dot some I's, and the fight will be made. And he said that, if everybody do what they're supposed to do, it's locked in. Okay. After Ryan Garcia's most recent fight last Saturday, when he brutally knocked out Javier Fortuna, well, not brutally, but he knocked him down 3 times and stopped him in dominating fashion. Gervonta Tank Davis had tweeted out, see you in December, okay, or see you at the end of the year, right? And many people speculated that it's December, okay? And so with that said, he said, see you at the end of the year. And, Ryan Garcia, he tweeted out that, he's going to knock out Gervonta Tank Davis, the usual, right? And I understand where Gervonta Tank Davis is coming from because Ryan Garcia, was in talks to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, and that fell through because Ryan Garcia, after he defeated Luke Campbell, Olympic gold medalist, British lightweight, star title contender, he beat Luke Campbell. He was floored in the fight. He got up. He stopped Luke Campbell in the 7th round. Prior to that, Gervonta Tank Davis had brutally knocked out 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Leo Santa Cruz. And it seemed like they was on the collision course, right? It seemed like it was in the works and it was getting ready to happen. And then suddenly Ryan Garcia, he started to talk about, initially he said that the fight was done, the contracts was ready. And Gervonta Tank Davis, he responded by saying, I didn't hear nothing. And he said, yeah, well, you need to ask your promoters, ask your team. It's done already, right? And he was featured on Hot Box with retired, legendary, iconic Hall of Fame superstar boxer Iron Mike Tyson, in which he said he was going to knock out Gervonta Tank Davis in 1 or 2 rounds. if not 3. You know, Mike Tyson FaceTimed Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis said, let's make it happen in negotiations. They definitely can make it happen. And then Ryan Garcia, he started to talk about that he's putting the Tank Davis fight on hold because he has another fight on the horizon with 8th division legendary iconic Hall of Fame Filipino superstar boxer in Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, in which Manny Pacquiao was unaware of what Ryan Garcia was talking about. Manny Pacquiao's team was unaware of what Ryan Garcia was talking about. And they allowed it to happen for a few days. And then they had enough, and they made a public statement, and they let it be known that if Ryan Garcia and his team continue to put out false narratives that Manny Pacquiao is interested in fighting them, they're going to take legal action against them. And that came to a halt, in which Oscar De La Hoya, he responded to that by saying, you know, that Ryan Garcia was just a kid with a dream and trying to speak it into fruition. Well, then he never revisited the conversation about fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. Then suddenly, it was talks of Ryan Garcia fighting Javier Fortuna in July of that year, when it seemed to be Gervonta Tank Davis. So Gervonta Tank Davis, he then moved on. He moved up to junior welterweight. He challenged WBA regular champion, Mexican star boxer Mario Barrios. He knocked out Mario Barrios in the 11th round of the fight, dropping him 3 times in the fight. And Ryan Garcia was set to fight Javier Fortuna in July, in which it never came to fruition. Why? Because Ryan Garcia then stated he had health issues that he had to tend to, and he was taking a leave of absence from the sport of boxing. Okay? Well, Javier Fortuna fight didn't happen. Then former IBF super featherweight world champion Mexican superstar boxer Joseph Jojo Diaz stepped in for Ryan Garcia. He beats Javier Fortuna in July. Then it's like Javier Fortuna Joseph Diaz and Ryan Garcia are set to face off against one another in October. Okay? And then Ryan Garcia and Joseph Diaz is saying, we don't know if this fight going to happen because Ryan Garcia pulls out of fights. He's not reliable. Well, then Ryan Garcia says, you know, we're not pulling out the fights. It's guaranteed. Then he cites that he breaks his hand and has to pull out the fight. Well, that sees now undefeated, undisputed lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney replace Ryan Garcia and defeat Joseph Jojo Diaz, right? And also, Ryan Garcia beating Luke Campbell was the mandatory for Devin Haney, superstar boxer who beat Joseph Diaz, for his WBC title. And he says if he can't get the Tank Davis fight, I'm going to fight Devin Haney. Well, then he starts to tell the world that Devin Haney is not exciting. Devin Haney hasn't fought anybody. Devin Haney hasn't done anything. And that he don't want to fight Devin Haney. And then he goes double backs and says that Devin Haney is the best fighter in the division, and that he's saving Devin Haney for last. Right? So I understand where Gervonta Tank Davis is coming from, because this dude is unreliable. Then he takes a whole year off, an entire year. Then Gervonta Tank Davis fights Isaac Pitbull Cruz, Mexican superstar title contender. He beats Isaac Cruz unanimous decision. He breaks his left hand in the 6th round of the fight, and that's his dominant hand because he's a southpaw. He breaks his left hand. And then Ryan Garcia tweets out, you went the distance with a C-level fighter, a D-level fighter. Isaac Cruz responds and says, if you think I'm a C, D-level fighter, then you fight me. Ryan Garcia says, no problem. Let's send the contracts. Let's make it happen. Then he pretends that he sends Isaac Cruz the contract. Isaac Cruz team respond, which is Manny Pacquiao's team, oddly enough. Manny Pacquiao Promotions promotes Isaac Cruz. Then they contact and said they never sent anything, but we could send something official to make the fight happen. They never make the fight happen. Then they go and fight Emmanuel Tagle. So these are the games that Ryan Garcia has been playing. He's not reliable. He finally fights Javier Fortuna. The entire world's acting like he did something magnificent. When we saw Joseph Diaz move up from 130 to 135, his first fight at 135, and he beats Javier Fortuna handily. Javier Fortuna coming off of that loss to Joseph Diaz. Ryan Garcia finally fights him, and then everybody's acting like he did something magnificent. And he fights Emmanuel Tagle and doesn't look good in that fight. And so this is what Gervonta Tank Davis is saying. Why should I go back and forth with Ryan Garcia when the deal is already in place to be signed, and I'm not going to talk about it and promote it until it's actually signed because we know Ryan Garcia is not reliable. And he's 1,000% correct. Ryan Garcia is simply not reliable, period. So Gervonta Tank Davis said everything's locked in place. We just got to get everything signed, sealed, and delivered. And he said there's no need to talk because he ain't reliable. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Buzz Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Buzz Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.